such a beautiful day. My name is Sarah, and I'm here with...
Hi, I'm Rachel.
And we are doing full nail designs like this one. How cute is that?
So
We're going to show you how to do that along with 2 other designs. Well, technically 1 other design, and then we're going to play with the new jellies from Ugly Duckling, and that's going to be fun. It's something we haven't ever tried, so we figured, hey, yeah, we're going to try it on the live. Because what if it works? And then maybe what if it doesn't? So anyway, but the jellies are fun. The new jellies from Ugly Duckling. We talked about those last week on our live over on Instagram. And we've been playing with them. They are fantastic. They're so good. But this is the yellow. So cool. They just have such a great consistency. They're really just a beautiful shade of color.
And just that like glassy.
Yeah.
Just beautiful pigmentation.
Like they're really, really, really nice and fun to work with. Okay, so should we do that first? Try it.
It's up to you, pal.
Do you have a magnet that I could grab? Is it easy to grab it? Okay, so I have 1 coat of 043, which is the blackest black. 1 coat. Look how black that is. Like I'm going to bring it up to the camera. Like that is wickedly black. Just in 1 coat. So 043 from Ugly Duckling. Fantastic black. And then I'm going to go in with 177, which is a cat eye. And this particular one has orange and green reflect.
Cute.
Like rusty, a little bit of red, a little bit of copper. So I just am pairing. Again, this is the technique we've never tried. Yeah. So I don't even know if it's going to work, but we're going to give it a go.
But that's sometimes the best.
Yeah. But cat eyes are so fun to use. And I figured, why not make a fall design? Ooh, cat eyes are so awesome.
Man, that's cool.
Man, that is so much fun. One thing I like about cat eyes, if you've never used a cat eye, is if you mess it up and you turn it all over and you can't even see it, you haven't messed anything up. Just keep playing. Keep moving it. And I love that.
But if you lose your glitter, all you got to do is just re-swipe it.
Yep. So then I would say it's all turned over, right? And you can't see any of it and it's all black. You just go in and you re-swipe it like this with no product on your bristles. You kind of lay that glitter back up and then you go back in and you work it again. I think cat eye is just the funnest thing to play with.
It's just like the coolest nail art that's not nail art.
Yep.
It's just fun.
So we could move it and make it like this. Ooh, that's fun, right? Or you could turn it over this way on this half, right? So I don't know. I'm just having play. So we'll stop there. But you could keep going and just play however you wanted. But I'm going to put this into the lamp and cure that for a full 60 seconds. And then I'm going to go over it with the yellow just to see if that pigment makes any difference over that cat eye.
Yeah.
Now, since black is my background, it might not. Especially since I left kind of that partial part of black.
Sure.
But this is where playing can be kind of fun.
Tammy Miller says, cat eye is my most favoriteest polish ever.
Isn't it cool?
It really is fun.
And there's so many different kinds of cat eye. It's just so fun.
Absolutely.
All right.
60 seconds.
Yep. On a nail pop, we'll pretend. So if this was your client, you need a full 60-second cure. But since it's on a nail pop, we will fudge it. And we're just going to go over with this yellow to see if it makes any kind of difference.
Kind of.
It kind of did. I think having black as a background made it to where you can't really see it. I wonder what would happen if we used orange as the background.
Maybe.
Or if we used red as the background. I wonder if we would be able to have that color contrast.
Yeah.
But it's something to play with. Like I can see the yellow hue.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera, but I can see it in the light. So there is a slight yellow hue like down here, over here. So it does add something, but it might have been more effective with a different color background.
Still cool though.
Still cool. Still something to try.
Why not?
You bet. Thank you. Thank you.
Right.
Okay, so on to the designs that we have planned.
Yeah.
If you search for, really quickly, is that if you search for the cat eyes on the Polished Pinkies website or here in the app, you can just search cat eye because we put them into their own section. So that's the easiest way to find the cat eye polishes from Ugly Duckling, and they are so fun to use.
And there's so many different colors. Like,
yeah, there are.
I love that.
Yep. I love the purple green one. I love the true green orange. This one has a lot of red in it, but I love 178. It's one of my favorites. There's some really good ones.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So,
are you starting or am I starting?
You can start. What are you making today?
I'll show you my inspo picture. I'm a big fan of any sort of like geometric, but also like mid-century modern. And so this is actually like a wall art that I found on Pinterest that's from Etsy. So I'm just going to do kind of similar, but just a lot of that like color blocking, and then adding some like fine line work to it just to add a little bit of contrast. But I'm changing the colors. So instead of like those really neutral, like rusty browns, oranges, nudes, I'm using Strobe as my background.
Beautiful.
So this is just this really light, kind of like a pearly ivory.
Beautiful choice.
Because we might as well add a little bit of something in there.
You bet.
And then the colors that I'm going to use, I'll just decant them while I'm grabbing them. So I'm using Luxio Swank, which is just this beautiful kind of it's like a yellow, but it has little hints of like a green, so it's like almost like a honey mustard. So very fun color. It's Kayla's absolute favorite color of all time. And then we've got Luxio Vert, so just this deep.
I think I'm going to use these colors in mine too because I might as well.
You might as well.
I might as well.
Might as well share. Mm-hmm. And then I've got a little bit of Luxio Sophisto that we're going to use, just this kind of lighter tan brown. And then I have Gel Play Olive. Beautiful. That we're going to use
I love this color.
It really is so cool.
I love Gel Play Olive.
The pigment in this is just stunning. So this color with this palette, just beautiful. And then I'll be using, instead of black for my line work, which is just like the standard choice I would usually go with, I'm going to use Line It Bronze.
Bronze is like...
It's like chocolate in a jar. So we're going to see how that goes. And we're just going to play around. And hopefully it all goes well.
I can't wait.
Yeah. Okay, there's your cat eye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, get off me. Okay. And I just did one coat of Strobe because I'm going to cover a lot of it up with my color blocking anyways. So I don't need it to be fully opaque right now. Who am I going to start with? I'm going to start with more of like a medium toned color. I want less of the darker, more of like the mid-tone colors. So we're going to start with Sophisto and just load up my brush, and we're going to put a little bit up here, kind of like a half moon style, not quite circle, but just like a little half circle shape. And of course I have lint, because why wouldn't I?
It is a salon.
It really is. I'm sorry, I'm not even in frame. Cute.
Super cute. Is that Sophisto you said?
Mm-hmm. And then before I cure that, I am going to add in my...
Did you take off your tacky layer?
Nope. I'm just working straight on the tacky layer because I'm doing this so quick. I'm not doing a lot of like line work and stuff on top of this. So I'm not worried about it running anywhere.
Gotcha.
And this is where I'm going to add in this larger arch with Swank.
Ooh, that's delightful, isn't it?
Like already you can see this is going to be so cute. And this color palette is just so fun and very, very fall.
And
clean this up.
And this is a really nice, easy, quick salon design.
I mean, until you add your line work, absolutely.
Yeah. But you could get away without the busy,
you could do it without
the more difficult line work.
more detailed aspects of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could just do the color blocking part of it and, you know, nice and simple. All right. And then those are curing.
The line work that you're going to do, oh, you said you were going to do it in line at bronze.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think I want to add another little thing on top of see, this is where I have a hard time, is because I have 4 colors and then there's only 3 in the design and my inspiration. So I have to kind of figure out where I'm going to put it, what I'm going to do with it. But I think I'm just going to add a small arch on the other side, or even coming up from the top and do like a little boop, boop,
I like that thought process.
Like instead of doing just this guy and then another little guy and then having all of my line work, I might just add like a little boop.
Oh, nice.
I think I'm going to do that. And we'll do it with Vert so it stands out on top of the Sophisto.
Vert is just one of those colors. It's a classic. It has stood the test of time. It is still wildly popular.
It's just
with clients,
one of our
with
customers, forever
and ever. It's just one of those iconic, almost becoming iconic. You know, it's just Luxio Vert is just that color. The color, delicious. So delicious.
And I can see where I've done this a little bit thicker. I don't want it to move, so I'm going to flash cure that really quick, so I don't have any issues with that green. And especially where I've got where the Vert is a darker pigment and it is a very pigmented color, I don't want to have any like wrinkling or anything like that, so I'm just going to leave it in for a few seconds longer.
Luxio colors will not wrinkle when cured properly, so yes, you just have to leave it in for just a few extra seconds. You don't have to give it a full 30-second cure every time,
right?
But you definitely, those darker pigments, you want to just err on the side of caution and give it 6 to 7 seconds to lock into place so that you won't have any issues. Because Luxio is 100% gel, generally you're never going to have wrinkling, but it's when those darker pigments have to cure, you just have to be a little bit more cautious.
Yeah,
that's all.
Yeah. And then I'm just adding this olive on top of Swank, and that is such a good color. Wow.
So far, all of this is.
Like, it's just fun.
Wow. It's like you know your stuff, Rach.
Weird.
I love it.
Yeah.
Where did you learn all of your color theory stuff? Just over time, or?
I would say self-taught. I just experimented a lot with color. I took interior design, and that really helped.
I see.
And I also just really like interior design anyway, so you learn a lot of color theory in that, because you have to know what pairs really well together, what doesn't, what to avoid, how to create a different feeling with different shapes, with different styles, with different colors. So the same thing goes with nails. You know, it's
absolutely.
just a different medium to apply the same technique,
same concept.
Yeah. All right, and then we're going to move this, so I'll stick my arm in it. And I'm curing my nail for more of the 30 seconds that I need rather than just a flash cure now, because I am going to be doing the line work on top of it, and I don't want to make a mess.
All of Accent's products are a 30-second cure in LED light or 2 minutes in a UV light, which I always wonder, who out there is using a UV lamp anymore?
Still.
You know? I wonder if they're still using that.
To this day.
Man.
Like that. It just seems like a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of extra work.
Yeah, so much extra work.
I could not be.
But I think that there are people who do still use those UV lamps.
Go.
I remember using a UV lamp and heading over to the LED world, and just the amount of time saved, it was like, whoa.
Well, the first time I'd ever used an LED lamp was when I bought it from you.
Oh,
The Accents one. And I was like, this is incredible. This has changed my career.
This is just crazy.
Because I went from the CND UV lamp.
Yeah.
The spaceship. Oof, what a transition that was.
I remember that lamp.
But I still have that accents one at home, and I still love it.
Yeah, still such a good lamp.
Yeah. All right.
It's
So
a
I'm just
Hybrid
gonna,
Pro.
I'm just gonna get a little bit on my thumb palette. That's not my thumb palette. Just so I don't have to keep going into the pot and grabbing. And this also, I'm just kind of warming up the product because it's been sitting, and because the linets are a little bit more of a thicker, stiffer viscosity, so they don't move in the pot. They will stay where they are forever and ever.
Another way that you can thin them out is to put it onto a thumb palette, and you could put just a tiny bit of shine on in there. Because these cure without a tacky layer, you want to use a top coat that doesn't have a tacky layer.
Yeah.
If it cures with a top coat or with a tacky layer, then you'd want to use like Luxio gloss.
Yeah.
So just match whatever clear gel to the inhibition layer that is in your product, and then you'll be good to go. But it would thin it out just a little if you needed it to move a little easier.
So the design that I am going off of, it has very, 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 very tiny hair thin lines, and there's a lot of them. I will not be doing exactly that.
Okay.
Because it's Monday and homegirl is a little shaky. So we will just be...
Your talent knows no end.
We will be doing...
I believe in you, Rach.
Sort of the similar...
Everybody watching is going to hold their breath for you.
Please do. But I'm just going to start with like my center arch, just so I have somewhere to build out from. Yes, straight enough. Make it a little bit thicker.
So you did your straight line before you did your curved line.
Mm-hmm. So I can just add my kind of my little curved cap on top. And of course, now my nose is like, ooh, so I'm feeling runny and itchy and tickly and all of the things.
Welcome to being a nail artist.
Welcome to being allergic to your job and a nail artist. All right. So I'll just keep it a little bit thicker. And I am just using my pinky as my anchor so that I really have a very, very steady hand. I have very steady lines, especially where I'm doing them thinner and using a lot lighter pressure. You want to have an anchor that will not move, not fail you. If that makes sense.
We're all holding our breath for you.
It gets easier the further out you go.
Okay. Then why am I holding your breath?
Why are you holding my breath?
Why am I holding my breath for you? Don't
know.
That is so cute.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could do as many as you want. You could just stick with just the tiniest little bit, or you could go the entire nail if you're really feeling ambitious, but I'll just add a couple more.
I really like the matte colors, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the bronze has that little bit of shimmer in it.
Yeah.
And when it hits the light, it's like, ooh.
Yeah, just like that
Ooh, that's
metal.
pretty. Mm-hmm.
It's just fun. Just adds a little bit of contrast rather than just doing like a straight black.
Mm-hmm. I also think it's a little less harsh than using straight black, right?
Yeah.
When it's going with those more mod tones or more fall warm tones.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes black can feel so harsh.
Yeah.
But that is really just so... Ooh, I think they could see it in the light. Do you see? I hope everybody can see that there is a shimmer to the bronze, and it is beautiful. Gorgeous.
So cute. But I think I'm just going to leave it like that and just not go like any further because I like just like, I can't tell if I want to add just like a little. No, I don't. I'm going to leave it how it is. Don't mess with it.
Don't do it.
Ruin a good thing. But I'm just going to leave it like that and top coat. And
beautiful.
And then that's it.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So we'll
So
let her
fun.
top coat over there while I get started on my design. So I have started with Luxio Almondine, which happens to be our most popular nude all year round.
It really is
Luxio
such a good one.
Almondine is just so flattering. I will say on most skin tones. Funny story is that I have 2 clients and they are sisters, and one can wear Almondine and it's no big deal. Here you go. No big deal. It's beautiful color on her. Looks exactly like you see here.
Yeah.
And then her sister has much more deeper olivey skin, and it turns gray on her, and that is so interesting to me.
Yeah.
But so I'm going to say it works on most skin tones.
Yeah.
You definitely want to pair it against skin tones, but it's just this beautiful, beautiful nude shade. Absolutely stunning. Okay, so I'm going to use Rachel's palette.
Yeah.
I'm going to use the Swank and the Vert. I'm not going to use the Sophisto, but instead I'm going to add just a hint of Luxio Relentless, which is this beautiful fall brown. Has a bit of an orange undertone.
Ooh, yeah.
It could even be considered a burnt orange. It would just be a little bit more on the brown side rather than the orange side. And then a little tiny bit of Luxio Pulse, which is true crayon orange.
Mm-hmm. It's just a bit brighter.
Yep. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay. Now using my Illustrator from Magpie. The Illustrator brush is actually one of my favorite brushes because it just kind of moves the gel quickly, smushes it really nicely. But I'm just going to get that ready. And then picking up some of these colors, I have to decide where I want my design to lay. Do I want it to be coming down this way? Do I want it to be coming across this way? Do I want it to be coming up the nail and go around like this? Which is actually how I think I'm going to do it. I think I want it to go up and around this way. So I'm going to start my fade of fall colors in the background going up from this color or from that corner. Now using not very much because I'm going to be more like splotching color like this. Kind of like think leaves, right?
Mm-hmm.
That we're coming up with a leaf motif. And so I'm just going to splotch colors. And I could give this a quick lock of color or lock in between so that the colors don't bleed.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of do want them to bleed. So using a little bit of Relentless.
Those really are so cute together.
The Luxio Vert and Relentless. Then we're going to go in with some Swank. And you can see like it really does feel like fall leaves already. And then top it up with a bit of our Pulse. And Pulse is punchy, so you can really see its contrast.
Mm-hmm.
You could even go in with a little bit of red. I think Muse would be really nice. Or even classy. It's that warm toned red if you wanted that to be part of this.
See, I would add like retro.
Oh, so you would keep it more in those muted
deeper
tones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's also just where my brain goes. I don't go to like.
You don't punch it up into the brighter. See, I'm thinking like bright Vermont fall, like ooh, all those bright colors that happen just for that short, brief time.
Yeah.
Have you made it up to the mountains yet?
No.
To see the color change?
No.
I haven't either. I'm sad.
I mean, there's a lot in my like neighborhood.
Oh,
Like
really?
going up, I drove up Fairfield yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Fairfield? Right there. And like where there's like the
Are you going for me?
like that senior living right there.
Uh-huh.
Just over that little bridge.
Yep.
There's beautiful, beautiful, like bright orange, bright yellow trees on both sides. So
I see.
I got a little bit.
You got a little taste.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I live close enough to the mountains that I can see.
So you can see. Mm-hmm. Whereas I live farther away from the mountain, so it just looks like a dusting of color.
Yeah.
Haven't made it up there yet, but so I'm going to go in with Line It Bronze because I think that black would be too harsh, right?
Yeah.
The same concept that Rachel was saying. We just want to keep things kind of in that fall tone, beautiful, yummy, delicious. I could even mix a little bit of this with Line It Gold if I wanted to add that golden hue.
Yeah.
That would be effective too. So you can really play with the colors of your leaves.
Yeah.
So where Rachel was working on her line work, I'm going to be working on my line work, but mine is going to be pairing together leaves, which sometimes can be a little bit difficult, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason is because we want fine lines.
Yeah.
See how fine these lines are? So if we're using a heavy hand, then those fine lines are going to become, well, they're going to become fat.
Yeah.
Right?
Not
That's
really
easy to understand. But up here, then the bottoms of your leaf and where they connect are going to become very fat as well. So we don't want that to happen. Yeah. So we want to keep a very, very light hand. All right, here we go. So I'm going to start in with my thicker branch, and I do all of this with my Magpie detailer. The Line It gels have a lot of pigment in them, so they need to be applied thin. Mm-hmm. So I'm using all of this gel, and I'm really just smushing it apart so that it stays a really thin application. Otherwise we have trouble with curing. So we don't want that to happen. And then from here, we can come off and bring out branches like out here using the lightest touch. Like these are almost going to like be invisible. We don't need the branches to be crazy. And then now that we have those in, we're going to go in with, and every time that we recharge our brush, I'm kind of dragging it through, but I'm not picking it up. So there's a big difference, right? Yeah. So I'm dragging through and just re-wetting the tip with enough gel to be able to pull a leaf. Cute. We want to keep these very, very thin, like this. Okay. And our lines, this is where our fulcrum finger really matters. And even that one was too thin and you can't really see its definition. Mm-hmm. So my next one, I need to make sure to make a lot fatter, like this. That way I can actually pull through right here.
Get some definition.
And get some definition that you can actually see. Like that. And it's okay to have both. You can have the ones that are smushy. Don't erase that. Mm-hmm. Don't waste the work that you've done. We're just going to pull other leaves so that it looks like it should. Okay. Yeah. Tammy Miller, what?
Sorry, I was going to say Tammy Miller asks, how do you make the swirl designs look flat on the nail? I feel like mine looked raised above the base color. Like your background on this? Is that what you mean?
Tammy, do you mean the colors of the leaves behind? Like these colors? I'm using just less. So you want to use just a little bit of product. You want to use colors that are highly pigmented. So rather than sheer colors, that way you can use just a little bit.
You should have lent bothering
me.
Oh,
thank you. Thank you for saving me. Thank you.
And Adalia Ramos asks, are all products you're using Luxio accents?
Yes.
Yes. The first one we did, if you were here from the beginning, that was Ugly Duckling. But that was just the magnetic, the cat eye polishes, and the new like sheer jelly one, the yellow. And she is using the Magpie Detailer. And
So other than that.
Yeah. And before I was using the Premium Detailer number 9 from Magpie and the Magpie Detailer. So hope those help. Sorry, I just looked at those. Cami says like the popular swirl designs, but what you said makes sense for the swirl designs too.
Yeah. Now I
Like
see what you're saying.
Kind of like the wet marble ones where you
or
have
even
like the blooming gel.
Well, even the one where the nail is here and you're going like this on the nail.
Yeah.
Right? So you need to use either a pigmented gel art paint or you need to use pigmented polishes where you can use less.
Yes.
You don't want to pile that up. Otherwise, you're having to really build up your top coat over top.
Yeah. And on those, you really do have to work with your top coat a lot extra because there is more like 3D nail art.
Yep.
Unintentionally. So that is something that you do have to play around with. Those are just so cute. Little
just cute and fun.
Fall branch. Yes, Adalia. Also, when using the top coat, like shine on, add a little bit extra to level the nail. Yes. Just give yourself a little bit extra just to kind of even everything out. Like I'll kind of show you mine that I just top coated off camera. Like it was really, really bumpy with all of my color blocking that I had layered over everything else. So you just give yourself a little bit extra, float it over, even have your clients like flip upside down and do it that way. And that just helps to kind of even everything out so that you don't have like lumpy, bumpy nails.
All right, so here's my final tip. Some of these are really small and hard to get all of your detail.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to appear as though, yeah, of course these are leaves, you're going to draw off one like this. And then one where you can really see it. That's where you're going to make it really big like this. And you're going to put your detail in here. And these are the ones you're going to pay your extra attention to. You're going to make your lines really nice like this. Because what it's going to do is make you think that's what you see on the rest of them.
Mm-hmm.
So that one leaf and this one leaf matters, right? So I could fix that guy. So the bigger ones that you can really see, make those really nice and detailed. That way these little ones that get a little muddled, people won't see that as much. So that's a tip. So I'm going to put that into, I still want more over here, but we're going to call it good for today. So I'm going to put that into the lamp to cure, and you would want to cure that for a full 30 seconds. And then we'll show you how to level over your top coat, of course, using Shine On as soon as that goes in. Mm-hmm. Now, because it's on a nail pop, we can get away with about 15 seconds in the lamp. And then we're going to finish off everything with our favorite accent, Shine On. This is just a beautiful top coat. It does self-level really nicely so that it can hide all of your bumpier nail art. Even still, working with these swirls, you have to keep it thin because otherwise then you have to really pile up your top coat.
Yeah.
And we don't want to have to do that. But a little bit of piling or a little bit of shaping correction would be okay with Shine On. I do find that if you use too much Shine On, that the blue hue, which is one of my favorite things about Shine On, but then it really shines through.
Yeah.
So you don't want to have, thank you.
Because that one's got purple all over it.
Well, we'll get off most of it. Thank you. So especially if you're working on a white or a pastel, things like that, you don't want to use too much shine on because then it will have that blue hue that you don't want to have, right? So taking our shine on and floating that over, and I say pile, but I mean float. And then just taking a little bit more, and we're just going to kind of level that out. And then you can hold it upside down. You could make that shine on go wherever you need it to with the bristles or with a nail art brush. That way your line of light is a beautiful, your oval will stay oval the whole time.
Yeah.
So like right there where it's not staying oval, then that's where I would need to fix it upside down. So for the sake of showing you, since we're in it, I'll go ahead and do it. All right, so now my oval stays an oval over the whole nail. All nice and smooth. So that is when you would want to cure it. And what that's going to do is just give you a beautiful finish to your nail art. And it's going to be the thing that people notice, right? So a lot of people don't understand line of light, but once you get it, then you get it. And that's when people are like, wow, your nails look different. They look really nice, whatever. Yeah. So it's those tiny little details that really make a really big difference. So practice your line of light every day, all day.
Because that will really elevate your manicures, even if you're not really doing anything different.
Even
it just
plain
makes
color
them look so much.
It really does. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love practicing line of light. And sometimes I send my clients out with bumpy nails, not on purpose, but it's like I ran out of time.
Yeah.
So I try to get it as smooth as I can. But then sometimes I'm able to really spend the extra minutes and get that line of light absolutely perfect. Mm-hmm. So always practicing. That's what we do. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Let's do a quick recap. We started off by showing you a little bit of cat eye fun. These are using Ugly Duckling gel polishes. And I don't know if you can see the yellow hue, but it is there, and it just adds kind of a little bit of interest, especially over the black. Mm-hmm. But I think it would be more effective if we used a different color. Mm-hmm. And then Rachel did this beautiful abstract design, and then I finished up with just a fall leaf motif. All of these products are available here on the Polish Pinkies Pro app or at polishedpinkiespro.com. And as always, if you ever have any questions, please don't hesitate. We're always happy to help. Until next week, we'll be in the Instagram. We'll be on the Instagrams. So until then, have a wonderful week.
Bye.
Bye.